What Maddie doesn't know is that I completely set him up. The man has nothing to say while we're filming, but when I'm doing voiceovers, he's got everything to say. So I made sure he was around when I'm doing this video, because I knew he just was gonna have something to say.
Hey guys, we've been gone for way too long, so we're going to try and bring you up to speed in the next few videos. We haven't been filming much as we've been working on getting our day sale business up and running, and a lot of behind the scenes that just aren't interesting to film. Let's pick up where we left off. We left Puerto Rico to pick up a shipment in St. Thomas. The logistics in St. Thomas were just easier. We needed to repair our engine's water pump and are upgrading our battery bank to 1300 amp hours so we can run our AC off of our batteries this summer.
Since we know that we also have a problem with not having enough solar, you can be like, and stay tuned for the upcoming problem we're gonna have. Shit, and they got more problems. They just built their bank and they got more problems. It also brings in an introduction of why we need a solar arch and why we need you to fund us and our solar arch.
I'm trying not to look like I'm sweaty talking about our amazing AC.
I'll throw on the AC.
But then the noise. The reason I'm sweating is because of the noise from the AC, so it can be quiet in here. We needed to repair our engine's water pump and are upgrading our battery bank to 1300 amp hours so we can run our air conditioning off of our batteries this summer, which will bring another problem of not having enough solar. We're installing a soft start on our 120 volt marine AC, which we couldn't find anyone else who's done it before, so we'll cross our fingers that we don't completely mess this one up.
Because we don't want to sweat our balls off.
We also secured our first partnership with Airlock, which is awesome. Our major boat project revolved around our air conditioning to try to stay cool and fresh this summer. And so far it's working. We just got to turn on the AC now. This is the first time turning on all 1220 amp hours.
We are not professionals. We just want to share other options available for doing this yourself on a budget. If you have any doubt, hire a professional. Before we get into the battery install, we've got to fix our water pump. We had gear oil leaking from our water pump, so Maddie began to research our options for fixing the issue. We had 3 options. Our first option would be replace the entire pump from the manufacturer, which would be the most expensive. Our second option was to replace the entire pump from an aftermarket site. That would cost less, but we would also get a lower quality pump. Our third option would be to keep our current pump and rebuild it with manufacturer parts, which could be substantially cheaper, but we didn't know what condition the parts of the inside were to make the best decision. So we did a little digging, and by digging I meant we took the entire thing apart. Before disconnecting any hose, we closed up the seacock to prevent water from shooting inside the engine bay, and began to unscrew any bolts holding the pump in place. We brought the entire pump to the countertop to begin to disassemble. You'll need C-clip pliers and a gear puller to make this job a little easier. We carefully began to work, inspecting every seal and hardware for any signs of extreme wear or damage. An impeller puller would help if your impeller has threads to grip the puller. We watched Sailing Sunday's YouTube video on how he took this apart. Now that we can see what looks worn and damaged, we determined the entire pump didn't need to be replaced. Nothing looks corroded and all the surfaces on the inside are nice and smooth to accept the new parts we are going to order. which was just a few seals that cost us about 60 bucks, which was better than our first two options that were going to cost us either $700 or $350.
Alright, baby, I might need your extra pair of hands.
Our next order of business is we are securing our batteries. We got a total of 920 amp hours to add to our existing 400 amp hour battery bank. This will hopefully solve a lot of problems, but I've been adding a lot of things to the boat that suck power. We are going to secure these batteries down with some straps and then start connecting them so they can level out. We should have our battery cable coming in the mail today, so we're trying to have all of this set up latest Wednesday because we're supposed to leave them to level for 24 hours. So let's do this.
That's never stopped you before.
So now we need to check to make sure where they're at. Balanced, 13.18 and 13.18. So that's good.
We decided to check on the health of our Battleborn batteries. We have 4 100 amp hour batteries, and turns out one of them have no reading at all. We did notice that our voltage would drop fairly quickly, so Maddie decided to disconnect all the terminals and see what was up and get an individual reading on all of them. So 2 of them are at 13.03, one is at 12.8, and the last one had no reading at all. So we're currently charging up all of the batteries with the engine, with the alternator, and it's gonna take a while. So right now the first battery should take about 3 hours. So it's a sitting and waiting kind of boat job day, which isn't too bad, except that we have no power, so can't do anything in there, including make food to eat. So today we're moving one more over on our list. We are connecting our batteries. We had to wait for a cable, we had to wait for a bus bar. Not that long. Defender is pretty quick to the US Virgin Islands. But still we changed our plan on how we were going to connect them. So we needed to order some stuff. These are our bus bars. It's about 3:30. There should be a boat parade today, which is pretty cool, at 5:30. So let's see if we can finish this in 2 hours. And really before it gets dark, because this is all the power of our boat. So it is now 5:30. The boat parade should start soon. And we're nowhere close to done. We just started stripping back wires so we could crimp them. And when the sun goes down, the parade will start. There's only so many angles we can give you in such a small space, so bear with us. Hopefully that's good. So it is 6:49. We are not done yet. It is dark outside, but the parade hasn't started yet. I really hope this is not like a 5-boat parade, because we saw one in Salinas, Puerto Rico, that our friend Sion were at, and Puerto Ricans know how to party. I mean, Virgin Islanders know how to party too, but Puerto Ricans, they know how to party. So we switched these 3 to parallel. They were supposed to be in parallel before, but apparently they were wired wrong. So one of our batteries are dead, unfortunately. So that left us with 300 amp hours in this bank, and it's a good thing we decided to get more batteries, because I don't know how we would have survived off of 300 amp hours. So now we are ready to turn on. You want me to turn on the switches from there? This is the first time turning on all 1220 amp hours. On. I don't remember space. Done. We finished most of our boat jobs, so we are ready to have a little bit of fun. So we're gonna go over to St. John for about a week or 2 and hop around the island and do some hiking, some exploring, and we're heading back to Puerto Rico. We have some things that we need to put back in our storage, and we're gonna provision. Provisioning here in the US Virgin Islands is a little bit pricey, so we're heading back to Puerto Rico to provision and then get ready for our next adventure. Smooth. I promise you, it's not. We made it to Francis. We were gonna go to Hawk's Nest, but the swell coming from the north was was pretty bad, and we didn't want to roll all night, so we came down to Francis. There's better protection here. We have this mountain behind us, and yeah, I think I'm making tacos for dinner. I like a different kind of tacos. I think it's called like Alhambra. Anyway, this man right here helps me make tacos.
I'm your inspiration. What is it, Sarah?
Flip the bottom.